Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. We'll be right back to the show, but before we do, I want to take a moment and tell you about my new book, Unbroken Man, A Man's Guide to Being the Hero of Their Own Story. I sat down a few months ago and realized that there are so many men in the world that need guidance, that need support, that need to learn about trauma, removing themselves from toxic masculinity, breaking down the barriers to vulnerability, getting unstuck, and ultimately learning the tools to become the hero of their own story. Unbroken Man is available for pre-order right now if you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, where you'll also get access to over $1,000 in bonuses, including the 6-week in-depth trauma healing coaching app, which you'll get instant access to. I created Unbroken Man to be accessible to everyone around the world, but it is written for men from the guise of a man, and I hope that you will find it to be a practical tool on your healing journey in the same way that thousands of men around the world have. So check out men.thinkunbroken.com to pre-order, and until next time, be unbroken.
Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. First and foremost, a little bit of audio quality difference today. Don't have a mic with me on the road. Just spent the weekend at Grant Cardone's 10X Growth Con. Right now, I'm standing in a hotel room in LA, getting ready to go have dinner with Tom Bilyeu, which I'm incredibly excited about. But that said, before we get into today's show, just a quick reminder that you can join our new Discord channel, which is going to be our chat channel for the Unbroken Nation community, where you can talk about a ton of different things about growth, mental health, Think Unbroken, this whole thing we're doing together, trying to make our lives better. So if you go to thinkunbroken.com/Discord, that's thinkunbroken.com/Discord, you can download and join the Think Unbroken Discord, which I will be doing live coaching on Tuesday nights, and I'm very excited about that. So that said, I was thinking about this thing that happened with Will Smith. Like, let's keep it real. Obviously, it's pop culture, it's the media. We all know about it now. There's no one who doesn't. And I was thinking about something really interesting as I watched the video. Two things come to mind. One, it's Hollywood, could very likely be fake. Like, let's just keep it real. It is what it is. Two, and more importantly, is thinking about the precedent that experience sets for culture, for community, for people, for couples, for relationships, for children. And I was just looking at that like, what the fuck are these guys doing? What are they doing? You know, big conversation I've been having so much lately is about toxic masculinity. And I've been talking about Unbroken Man, the new book that's coming out June. If you go to men.thinkunbroken.com, you can check that out. I wrote Unbroken Man as kind of like this high level to have this conversation, because I was thinking to myself, it's kind of insane that we are still dealing with these men who are so adverse to the idea of doing the work. Like, we all know Will went through some bad stuff. Like, to be that public, like, part of me is like, I can't wait till I'm like on these huge stages and maybe there's some fame to it so we can spread the word a little bit more. And the other part of me is like the scrutiny and the public shame and pressure and guilt and all the things that come along with that. It just must be hell to bear sometimes. And so really, my heart goes out to Will first and foremost, because you see someone act like that and you go, that's not normative, right? Why would someone do that? There's unresolved anger, unresolved hurt. So let's say for context, right? Because I know somebody's going to email me. I already know who you are. And they're going to be like, it's staged. I don't give a shit. Staged or not. Let's say it is. Let's say it's not. Doesn't matter. My point is this. All these people around the world see this. People of color, children, me, you, we all saw this, right? This moment where he walks up the stage, smacks Chris Rock after his wife was insulted. Let me say this. I am not pro-violence. I'm not pro-violence. I promise I'm not. I've been in, 200 fights in my life, probably more. I have no idea. I've broken my hands on people's faces. I've broken people's faces. Like, I've done some fucking violent stuff in my life, especially when I was young. I haven't been in a fight in 13 years now. And I think about this, when I watch this, I go, oh my God, like, this is the precedent we're setting for teaching people how it is okay to communicate with each other. You know, I have a rule in my life. It's one simple rule when it comes to, well, there's a lot of rules, but the one that I come to is this. If I'm arguing with someone, there's no yelling. There's no hitting. There's no belittling. There's no shaming. We sit down and we talk. We cool off when we have to cool off. We take a break when we have to take a break. And we come back to it and we step into creating resolution as adults. Easier said than done, right? Look, it's a learned tool. You have to be able to learn how to do this because, like, you can't just smack people in the face because they hurt your feelings. Look, the truth is, I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody wrote a fucking 2-star review for this podcast the other day. And it's like, that hurts my feelings enough that I'm like, fuck it, we'll do better, right? But I'm not going to go hunt them down and smack them in the face, right? And I get it. People on both sides of this fence. Some people are like, hey, you got to defend your people. I agree with this. I will defend my people till the day I die. I defend this company. I defend the unbroken nation, my families, my friends. Like, I defend people. And if you touch me, that's a whole different scenario, right? But if we're sitting in conflict, we've got to be able to resolve it. You know, I have this memory, and I wrote about this on Instagram, about this idea, or excuse me, this memory when I was young and we were in a Safeway. I was with my stepdad and we were in line getting ready to check out. And he had sandals on. You know, those old these old crappy leather sandals, and his feet were so nasty. Like, you could ask my brothers, like, they were fucking disgusting. And I remember commenting on it. And the lady in front of us laughed. She smirked. And as soon as we got home, he kicked the shit out of me. I mean, it was bad. It was one of the worst beatings I ever took because his feelings were hurt. Think about that for a second. His feelings were hurt, like Will's feelings, his wife's feelings were hurt. And how did he react? Violence. And violence begets violence, right? And then there's that trickle-down effect. You see that happening in your children and your children's children, and this is a continuation of generational trauma. It is the very thing that we are fighting every single day to end.
We'll be right back to this episode of the Think Unbroken podcast in just a moment, but I wanted to invite you to come and join the Think Unbroken Discord community. If you don't know about Discord, it's being built on Web3, which is a platform that we as the users get to own. So no more Instagram or Facebook or algorithms getting in the way of you seeing and being a part of content. In the Discord channel, we're going to grow this to hundreds of thousands of community members, hopefully over time. But today, it's small, it's close, it's intimate, where you'll be able to get access to live coaching with me, where you'll have chat with the Unbroken Nation community, where you can talk about a range of topics, anywhere from thinking about habits and growth mindset, goals, trauma, recovery, dating, relationships, career, accountability, business, meditation, feedback, and more. And so all you have to do is go to thinkunbroken.com/discord. That's thinkunbroken.com/discord. That's DISCORD to join the Unbroken Nation community.
And then you take arguably one of the top 10 most famous people probably in the history of the world, Will Smith. And you put him in that scenario and he reacts like that. And my first thought was, well, seems like he's got some unresolved trauma he needs to deal with. And it's a sad precedent because I look at this and I think to myself, man, how would I react in that moment? I get angry. I get fired up. I keep this energy in me so frequently and I try to use it for good. And sometimes it comes out and it's not as good as I want it to be. That's human nature. And I'm always learning how to work on that shit. But in that moment, I thought to myself, man, what would I do? I want to defend my person, my people, my family, my community, my business. Now, on the other hand, I want to punch this guy in the fucking mouth. And the truth is, it's a lose-lose situation when violence gets involved. And look, people will say, well, the argument, there's cause for violence sometimes. Yeah, there is, 100%. If you're defending your life, your family's life, 100%. I'll never argue that. I mean, where I grew up, violence was a part of our daily life. But when it comes to something like that, scrutiny, shame, judgment, people are all, this is what I've tried to teach you guys. You got to pay attention to what I'm telling you right now. This is what I'm always trying to teach you guys. Listen to me. Hear me right now. You got to do the work. You gotta do the work. You have to have the tools. So when that moment comes, because it's gonna come again, you're going to be able to defend yourself the right way. I tell you all the time, people are judging you. They already are judging you. They're already shaming you. They've already made a decision about who you are. They're already talking shit about you. They don't like your hair, your tattoos. They don't like the way you talk or how you dress or the way your words come out of your mouth or the company you keep or the job that you have or the car that you drive. But that has nothing to do with you. But the way that you react does. And you have to make a decision in these moments of scrutiny, of judgment, of who am I? Who am I going to be in this moment? Because it's easy to go to your primal, right? You get back into that part of you and you're like, I'm going to fucking destroy this person because I'm hurt. You know, now you guys know I'm not very religious, but in the Bible there's this verse, an eye for an eye. But it never really meant like go and hurt your neighbors. And I think that's where people just get lost in this. They want to go and hurt each other because they were hurt. And you realize you sit down and you ask yourself a question here. Like, do I need to understand this person or do I need to be understood? And so many of us vie for this attention of being understood when people hurt us. And look, I'm not going to get in any more detail than that about them, Will and Chris Rock and his wife or whatever, because I don't know them. But what I am going to say about it is just I want you to take into consideration that sometimes when people lash out at us, sometimes when they're hurt, and yes, this was in the context of comedy. You guys know I love stand-up comedy. I'm very un-PC. I don't give a fuck. But, you remove that from this. And let's say it's just in our day-to-day lives, which is where this normally happens, not on big stages, right? Think about why that person is lashing out. What has happened in their life? Because remember, their shit has nothing to do with you. Their thing has nothing to do with you. But you happen to be in the crossfire. And we can result in violence. And this can result in us, having this moment where we're heartbroken and devastated that someone hurt us. But ultimately, we have to be willing to acknowledge and look at this and say, that has nothing to do with me. And be able to move forward and go on into what's next in our lives. And my hope is that this is a lesson for people to look at this and measure it and go, is this how I want my children to behave? Is this how I want to behave? Is this how I want my family, my friends, my community to behave when we're in conflict? We have people dying around the world every single day because violence begets violence. Hurt people hurt people. I tell you this all the time. That's why we're on this mission at Think Unbroken to give people the tools. So you've got to use those tools. You've got to leverage those tools. You've got to bring those tools into your life, because if you don't, you cannot end the cycle. And it's your time to be the person that breaks this generational trauma curse. Unbroken Nation, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Just had to get this off my chest in the hotel today. We'll be back to normal recording here in a day or two. Please check out thinkunbroken.com/Discord to join our Discord. I'm doing live coaching, live Q&A every single week. You got to be in that group. I'm not doing it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm not doing it anywhere else except in our private channel. It's a private channel. So thinkunbroken.com/Discord, and check out the new book, Unbroken Man, A Man's Guide to Being the Hero of Their Own Story, at men.thinkunbroken.com. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see ya.
Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review, rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor. And when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken Trauma Healing Coaching Program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.
The future of legal THC is Mood's THCA flower. Find it today at hellomood.com, the best online dispensary that ships discreetly to your door. Great for beginner and veteran users, Mood enhances awe-inspiring experiences with a variety of high-quality products you can trust, from gummies and pre-rolls to classic flower and so much more. Try Mood's new THCA flower today, and for 20% off your first order plus a free pre-roll of THCA flower, go to hellomood.com and use promo code PODCAST20.